Okay, so today I'm going to we're working in ARM assembly language. I'm going to work on a small program that can define an array and then iterate through it. I'm just going to get right into it and kind of explain things as I go along. So just like the last program, um, we start with the branch to the main area of the program. And then here we're going to define an array of integers. If you remember, we use a name. We use def w as the instruction, and then we're going to we can actually put in our numbers like just like if we were defining an array in another programming language. So let's keep things tidy there. So all I've done here, my list is I chose that. That's the name. That's the label. This is the instruction to define the word, but we're going to the comma separated values are different. They're going to be placed in their own slot in memory. Important part of the program is the instruction align. That makes when it assigns things a place in memory, it makes them 4 bytes wide. We need to remember that later. So we've branched to main at the top, so we're going to put in the main section. ADR, which means point the fourth register to the address of to this address, my list. If you think about my list, a bit like in C, if you call the name of an array in C, that's a pointer to the first element of that array. So this name is now the address in memory in R4. We're placing the address in memory of the first element in the array, which is 1. Then we're going to we need a counter. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to use one of the registers as a counter. We're going to use R1. The reason we don't use R0 is because we need R0 to print out and things like that. So we want that for later. So we'll use that later. So we're going to move it to 0. Then we need to start a loop. And don't worry about all the white space in my program. That is ignored. So it's not important. It's just how I like to lay out the program so that it's neat and human readable. So we're going to use LDR. So the difference between ADR and LDR is LDR gets the value and puts it into a register. ADR gets the address of something and puts it into the register. So we're going to put something in R0, and we're going to put the value pointed at by the address in R4. So put in the brackets around R4 gets the value from R4. So when something branches back to loop, it's going to place what's in the value of the thing that R4 is pointed at into R0. Once we've got that, we're going to use the software interrupt to print out the integer that is being pointed at, because we know it's an integer. Alright, so now we need to iterate through the array. And the way we do that is we're going to move the counter, which we made, R1, and we're going to move the R4 pointer So the reason this is interesting. This is where it gets kind of interesting. We've aligned it so that everything is 4 bytes wide. So R4, we're going to add 4 to move it, the entire space in memory taken up by that integer. So the first one is where we're going to place it. This is what we're going to add the first part of the sum, and then this is the second part of the sum. So we're adding 4 to R4, moving it one more space in the array, because the reason that it's 4 is because we've aligned it so 1 is 4 bytes from 10, so we have to move it 4 each time. We're also going to add 1 to the counter. Very simple. The reason that we add 1 to the counter is because we want this loop to end at some point, so we're going to do a test. We're going to compare the first register, sorry, not the first register, R1, register 1, which is the second register. I'm going to compare it to 4, or however long your array is. If it's not equal to 4, we're going to loop it. If it is, it will just continue. So we're going to exit the program using the software interrupt 2. And we are good to go. So I'm just going to hop over to my Linux program. Here's one I made earlier. So I've used 5 integers in this array, but it's essentially the same program. I'm going to get my assembler emulator, compile my program, load it in, and in the terminal here, when I run it, it should just iterate through that array. And oh no, I forgot to reset. Gosh darn it. There you go. So it's just printed out my array, one after the other. 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. Lovely jubbly. Okay. So have a play with that. Have a play with the iteration. As you can see, everything I'm using is freeware, so please support these people. They're amazing. Notepad++, very, very powerful Windows editor, very simple, very lightweight, lots of really cool features. VLC is what I use to do the screen grab, also freeware, but you go support those guys. And No Machine to access my Linux machine from my Windows desktop. And this is Manchester University's KMD Komodo emulator for ARM assembly. Please go and support them if you can, donate to them and all that stuff. Visit me on medsplace.com. I have, or meds-place.com. I have the code and everything like that under the videos on my website. And thanks for watching.